Alright, this is part 2 of jetting the carburetor for your bike. Now, to understand jetting, we have to understand the symptoms of what is wrong. And only your bike can tell you that. Now, let's start with the Slo Jet, or the 0 to 1/4. Well, there's two ways to do this. Okay, so we can see right here, the Slo Jet is right here. Now that takes care of your idle, because your slide is all closed. There is no air going through there. Your fuel is going from here into here. So, in order to adjust this, what they tell us, or tell me, if we turn this over, this adjusts your slide height. Basically your idle. That's all it does. It has a spring on it. Okay, make sure the spring's on there. This is your Slo Jet idle right here. Your Slo Jet screw. This controls how much air, just like this, goes in. You can give it full air like it shows, or if you screw it all the way in, you'll give it no air. And this is what happens. What you'll do, suppose you have a good idle, 1500 RPM. What you're supposed to do to adjust this is to take a screwdriver and screw this little tiny pilot jet all the way in. Now, as you do that, in about a minute, I would say a minute, your bike will start to slow down, and then it will die, because your bike does not have any air to idle. Then what you're supposed to do is, if that's the way it, okay, I'll just go on. I don't want to confuse anyone. There's two ways of doing this. Then what I do is I take a screwdriver and I will turn this out very slowly to about 2.5 turns. 2.5 turns is where you should be if you have the right size Slo Jet, which is right there. Now, your Slo Jet goes right next to your regular jet. It goes right, it screws right in there. Okay, that's the only use for the idle. Now, if what you want to do is turn this screw out 2.5 turns and wait another minute, and your bike will come back up on power. Okay, and then you want to do it a 1/4 turn at a time, turning it out, to see if your idle increases anymore. And it shouldn't increase anymore. If it does increase, then your pilot jet is too small, and you have to go to just next size larger. It has markings on it too, which are well, they're, I don't know, they're somewhere on there. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Probably in Japanese too. So you go to the next size larger. Usually the idle jet's not the problem. The problem is the main jet when you're riding. Okay? Now, like I say, there is a lot of carburation, two-stroke things on the web, and you should not just listen to me or anyone else. The best way to learn about carbs and any other thing is, don't trust in one person's opinion, because if that person's opinion you trust in blows up your motor, that person's not going to pay for it. So what I found in my 50 years of working on these bikes is to go out and ask 3 different people what they think, how to adjust it. If you get 3 different people to agree on how to adjust it, then you're probably pretty close to where you want to be. But never take, especially young guys, never take somebody's word, oh, this works, that works, because once you blow the motor, that guy ain't going to pay for it. Knowledge is power, and it doesn't cost you a dime to look it up on the web. Or you can donate $3 to my PayPal account and ask me. But I'm just saying that because I'm such a nice guy. Or you can get it for free. But $3 doesn't hurt. Hint, hint, hint. Okay. And I'm working on 500 videos. I want to get up to 500 videos. Alright, now, when you put a bigger carb on one of these motors, you're changing all the dynamics that were put in place by Honda. Honda spent millions and millions of dollars in research on this little motor. That's why it doesn't break like some Chinese bikes, because of their pot metal. And for all of you that have them, you know what I'm saying. I've had this bike for 17 years. And very few things break. You want to know why? Because when Honda finds a problem, they fix it. And that's what I like about this little bike. But once we start changing the parameters, once we start changing the cylinder size, the carburetor size, the exhaust size, then everything's out the window. These bikes were never designed for this much horsepower or heat changes or gearing or anything else. That's what's so fun about trying to adjust the bike to be a great racing machine. You know, this may be a 3-part series. So the way I like to do it is, first of all, I'll take my carb off and I'll write down the jets, because later on down the line you're going to want to know what they are. You might even want to keep a little notebook. I used to do that a lot, and that way I could look back and see which changes I made. To get the right jet for the main jet, and these are the main jets. And let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can. See, if I had some really good donations, I could get a high definition camera, but since all these people are being really cheap and they want to help me out, but I'm just saying. See, now that says M on it. These are Mikuni jets, and that says 012, and you can tell on the other one it says 102. So all the jets are marked. What I like to do, the first thing I like to do is keep your stock jet that came with the carb. You don't want to change a lot of things at once. You want to change very gradually to kind of dial in where you are. So what we have is we have a stock jet, and we have the needle, the jet needle in here, and it has 5 different positions, and it's always on the 3rd position or in the very center of the range. So that's the first thing you change. You want to get, let's see where did I put that. For carburetors, this is the best tool in the world. Now you can get these at a few places. You can either forceps, I think. You can steal them from a doctor's office. Just saying. Or you could get it from a local head shop. Or you can go to Radio Shack and they sell them. And this is going to be a 3-part series.